Hello, hi everyone. Hello, let me refresh you again. There you go. I'm Freodore, designer of NIJISANJI EN's 11 unit by the beat. Good afternoon, good morning. Hello, good evening. Buenas tardes. Hello. おはようございます。NIJISANJI EN 所属 by the beat のビジュアルセンスがこだわりのデザイナー、フリオドールです。おはようございます。Hello, hi everyone. We are here for another coffee Zatsu. Hope everyone's doing well. みんな元気ならよかったね。ところで、Happy Golden Week でしょ？ゴールデンウィークのおかげで休んでる人いっぱい休んでね。I think Golden Week has started already. So, to everyone that's resting because of the holidays, then make sure to rest well. But yeah, hello everyone, hi. It's been, So, last time, we brewed coffee with a pretty complex, a pretty time-consuming and busy recipe. So, this time I thought to do the complete opposite and do a very simple recipe. Probably one of the recipes that I also use on like a daily basis. I think I showed I've shown some of my daily recipes like not too long ago, but sometimes it changes. So this is another one of the regular recipes that I use, and it's gonna be pretty simple to contrast the really time-consuming but delicious recipe that we showed last time. そうですね、前回結構忙しいレシピを紹介しましたね。本当に時間が経ってステップが多くて忙しかったね。だから今回は逆にやります。まあこれは結構日常で最近よく使ってるレシピですね。結構シンプルなレシピだ。まあけど前回のレシピは本当に面白かったね。甘くて酸味が低くていいボディだったわ。So, the recipe will be this for today. じゃあ今日のレシピはこちらです。The difference in text is very different, right? It's very different. Very apparent. テキストの違いが多いよね。前回より。Before it was like long, like from the top to bottom. But yeah, this is gonna be the recipe of today. Let me switch to the red mark. The red mark's a little bit easier to see, I think. そうですね。ここら辺で赤いマークの方が見やすいですね。ですよね。Do you make this recipe often or just every once in a while? It depends on the bean, but it's a pretty staple recipe of mine. And it's not very different than something I have introduced before. I have introduced a 2-pour recipe on my streams a good amount of times. But the only thing we're changing here is the amount of bloom volume for the water. But other than that, we have done this quite a good amount of times on stream. そうですね、今回はまた2ステップレシピで入れてみますね。このレシピ似てるレシピも紹介したことあるでしょ。でも今回は蒸らしステップの割合が少しだけ変わるよね。60g まで注ぎます。そして 60g のブルームの蒸らしも紹介したことあるけど、2ステップで初めてかな。I think I've already introduced also using a bloom of 60 grams instead of 45, like 4 times the weight of the grams and beans. I've shown that before already as well, but I think this would be the first time that I do it in a 2-step recipe. I usually do it on 3 steps, so this is gonna be a nice change. And as for the beans that we're gonna be brewing the Velo de Novia beans from Peru of Sweet Bloom Coffee Roasters. I believe I showcased this like a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And last time we encountered this thing where with the filter that I was using, the water was flowing super slowly. It was almost like it was clogged, the filter. So I tried with the other filters I had on hand, the flat filter, and also took some slow draw time. However, I have gone back to the Cafec T90 filters. And these filters are super fast. They're the same as the Cafec TH3 that I was using before. And they are labeled as medium roast filters, but I use them for everything. They're really good. And when I tried these filters with these beans, the flow was pretty normal, so I didn't have any long drawdown issues anymore. Because 前回ですね、この豆を入れた時に配信でね、なんかお湯を流すの結構遅かったね。多分フィルターの問題かなと思ってた。でも、今回は、まあ、この前、このカフェT90フィルターで、このフィルターで入れて、なんか、お湯の流し方が結構普通だったから、やっぱり多分あのフィルターの問題があったかな。そうかもね。じゃあ、今日はこのフィルター使ってみますね。カフェT90。これは一番好きなフィルターだ。カフェの TH3 との同じだ。今日は字幕ちゃん なしですか？字幕ちゃんが、日本語枠配信とスペイン語枠配信だけで働くですね。普通のコフィーサツが、まあ、スペイン語、英語と日本語で喋ってるから、ごちゃごちゃになるよね。字幕ちゃんが。But yeah, okay, so from top to bottom, we're going to be using the Origami Air M dripper. It's one of my favorite cone drippers. If you guys have a B60, this recipe is completely usable on the B60 or any cone dripper. That's a conical. Cone dripper, that's conical. That's the same thing. We're going to be doing the 2-pour recipe, and we're going to be using the Cafec T90 filter, but feel free to use any filter of your liking for this recipe. The bean is called Velo de Novia from Sweet Bloom Coffee. It's a washed coffee from Peru, and it has soft floral notes, golden kiwi notes, and white grape notes. It's a pretty light coffee. I really like it for the tea style of brews that I tend to drink, and yeah, I've been really enjoying brewing this bean lately. I showcased it a few weeks ago, but because it was a longer brew time, ended up brewing a little bit stronger than our intended objective today, so it should be a little bit lighter compared to last time. そうですね、前回は、まあ、この豆も入れたね、結構なんかフローラルと、酸味高い豆だから結構好きだけど、前回は結構なんか入れるの時間が5分ぐらいだったから、ボディは結構重かったね。だから今回は目標は、まあ、結構なんか、あっさりな感じを目指してますね。I believe I talked about this the other stream when I introduced these beans, but the beans are called Velo de Novia, which means bride's veil. And it's also the name of a waterfall in Peru. So it's probably the reason why it's called that. I thought it was reminiscent of like wedding ceremonies or something, but it turns out that it's also a cascade in Peru, so maybe it's a reference to that. そうですね、前回は、まあ、ベロデノビアは、なんか妻のベイルの意味があるって言ってたけど、実はペルーで、この豆の品種のペルーで、ベロデノビアって呼ぶのカスケードがあるから、多分、あのカスケードを参考してるかなと思ってた。And yeah, we're going to be using the usual beans and water ratio. We're going to be doing 15 grams of beans to 150 grams of water at 93 Celsius. And this is something that I changed also. recently I've been doing slightly finer grinds than before. I was usually doing 60 to 58 clicks on the CP6, but now I am doing 55 clicks. And then same for the Comandante. I have been doing 25 to 27 clicks instead of 28 to 30, like I was doing before. I feel like lately I've been having a little bit more consistent results with slightly finer, it's still on the coarser side, but slightly finer grinds. These are high quality grinders though, so for people that have more budget grinders, I still recommend going pretty coarse. そうですね、まあ割合がほとんど同じだけど、なんかグラインダーの低めを少しだけなんか設定変わったね。今回は55クリック、最近55クリックで入れてる。なんか弾いてるよね。前は CP6 なら、58や68、60、いや、ちょっと待ってね。58から60まで、設定してたけど、最近なんか少しだけ、なんか設定を下がったらいい結果が見つけましたね。だから最近そうやってます。コマンダンテでも、25や27クリックまで弾いてるよね、最近。And then the recipe is super simple. We're going to be pouring until 60 grams. And then after a minute passed for the bloom, we're going to be pouring onto 250 grams. We're going to be doing a high turbulence pour. And then we're going to be done. So, yeah, pretty simple. Pretty simple. まあ結構シンプルですね。So, let's start preparing this recipe, shall we? I'll be answering maybe some of the coffee-related questions along the way. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring it. It's more like I want to not get sidetracked, so that's why I'm focusing on explaining the recipe and performing it at the moment. Yosh. So, I'm already heating up the water. Let's start out the ASMR section of the stream. じゃあ ASMR 弾始めましょうか。Alright. And then alright, I have changed the setting on my microphone, so I believe the noise around my room has been more audible. じゃあ部屋の前よりもっと聞こえるようになったね。マイクの設定変わったから。So we're gonna start out by pouring 15 grams of beans. 15グラムを入れますね、スケールに。There you go, 15 grams. はい。15グラム。そして、where's the spray? Where's my spray? There you are. We're gonna spray the beans with a little bit of water to avoid static. なんか静電気ために、少しだけ豆に水スプレーしますね。よし。So this time we're gonna be grinding at 55 clicks. じゃあ今回は55クリックですね。There you go. I recently calibrated my CP6 again, so now I don't have to estimate or calculate the offset between the actual numbers on the grinder and the setting that it actually is, so that should be completely accurate. そうですね、最近なんかグラインドをカリブレートしましたね。だから設定が ようやく割ってます。Would the static affect the taste at all? The static is so that the coffee grounds do not get stuck to the grinder after you grind them. If you have a high static, if you're in a high static environment, the reason you spray water, and you see a lot of baristas spray water on their beans, is to avoid the coffee grounds getting stuck to the grinder. It's a very useful trick. Yosh. So, we're gonna grind, okay? じゃあ、豆をひきます。Very aromatic coffee. Like, just from grinding it, I can smell like a very nice floral scent. もうなんか、引くたびに、結構、優しいな、フローラル香りが出ますね。Very, very nice smell. 本当にいい香りだ。I smell like a... it's kind of hard to describe. But when it comes to... This time I'm getting a little bit more of the kiwi notes from the ground smell. 今回はなんかキウイの香りが結構わかりますね。So... We're going to be pouring the grinds onto the dripper. And our water is ready, so let's get ready soon. じゃあ、お湯も準備だから入れましょうか。We're going to start out with a 60-gram pour. Want to make sure, let me adjust the microphone so it's a little bit easier. Okay. じゃあ最初の注ぐですね。注ぐステップ 60g まで注ぎます。Where's the stopwatch? よし。We don't have to go super fast for this one. Just make sure most of the grounds are soaked. There you go. And we're gonna wait around a minute. さあ1分ぐらい待ちますね。Lately, the difference that I've been noticing between doing a 45-gram bloom compared to a 60-gram bloom is that I notice a little bit more sweetness from my brew, so I've been really liking doing 60 grams instead. なんか最近なんか前よく使ってたの60グラムと比べたら、最近の60グラムは結構少しだけ甘くなってきたって気がしたから、いい感じやと思ったね。Alright. So we're doing the second pour until 250 grams. This time we're going to be pouring further away from the dripper to create turbulence until 250 grams. There you go. We're gonna swirl the dripper a little bit to slow down the draw time, and that should be it. じゃあそうですね、2番目の注ぎステップもできました。今回はもっと遠くからお湯を注いで、こうやってもっと対流を起こしますね。対流を起こします。後で少しだけドリッパーをぐるぐるしますね。What notes are your personal favorites? I like floral notes like this ones, actually. I like fruity and floral notes. そうですね、香りならフローラルとフルーティーな感じが好きですね。Sweet is nice too, also, so it depends on my mood, but these are my favorites. まあ気分によるけどね。時々なんか甘いコーヒーも、甘い香りコーヒーも飲みたいから。Lately, I use my comandante for the sweet ones though. My main project has been trying to tame that one mango bean that we had last time. I think I still haven't cracked it completely yet. 酸味が好きです。まあ、苦味もいいだけど酸味が好きだ。Alright, so we finished brewing, so let me turn off the water. よし。まあ、できましたね。It took us about 2 minutes, which is the intended time, so at least time-wise, this is a success. そうですね、目指してた時間が2分だったから、成功だったね。よし。Ah, that's a nice smell. いい香りだ。Alright, so let me just put the cafe away. Yes. And warning, I'm gonna be tasting the coffee, so if you have misophonia and slurping sounds are not a nice experience, then you have been warned, okay? I'll only be doing this for the initial taste. なんか飲む音苦手人に少しだけなんか味わうためにうるさく飲みますから注意しますね。Provecho, gracias. Thank you. ありがとうね。じゃあいただきます。Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. This is a recipe I'm familiar with, so I wasn't really expecting anything less. Yeah, that's nice. まあやっぱりいいですね。このレシピとこのレシピで結構入れるからもう慣れてるよね。もうなんか機械がポジティブだったわ。Let me adjust the microphone. じゃあマイク設定を普通に戻りますね。That's a nice cup. All right, so why am I snapping my fingers? The microphone's back to normal now. マイク設定は普通に戻りましたね。So, yeah, describing the flavor, right? Last time, I feel like there are a lot of similarities to the time where I last brewed this coffee. However, that was like a 5-minute brew time. It was pretty long. It was probably one of the longest ones I've done on stream, if not the longest one. And let me taste it again, just in case. This time, like the bitterness has been reduced around, I'm gonna say 60 to 65%. And now the body is also significantly reduced. It's way lighter. It's more like a tea. And I feel like I taste a little bit more of like a pleasant like tarty, a pleasant tart aftertaste. That was present before, but it's a little bit stronger now because the body is not getting in the way. The bitterness in the coffee in the body is not getting in the way. Which I assume it's kind of like the grape and the kiwi. So yeah, no, it's more tea-like, which is closer to my preferences, for lighter coffee. そうですね、前回より苦味と、ボディが多分60じゃなくて多分50かな ?50% ぐらいに下がったから、結構もっとなんか、あっさりな感じがあるよね、やっぱり。僕の好みにぴったりだ。そしてなんか後味で結構なんか美味しいな、酸っぱいと酸味があるし、なんか多分キウイとグレープの味わいかな。 残ってるから、いい感じだ。飲みやすそう。の、本当に飲みやすい。This is a coffee that's very easy to drink, yeah. It does not feel... I think it's one, whenever you're starting your day, I personally really like these, I personally really like these type of brews. Or maybe even when it's gonna be my last cup of the day and I don't wanna, and I just want like a nice light cup, I'll brew something like this. Like a nice washed coffee that's on the lighter side. Light roast, I always brew light roast regardless, but yeah, with this kind of recipe, only 2 pours. It's usually what I prefer for starting the day. If I'm gonna like eat with a dessert or something, I'll prefer like a heavier body brew with like a comandante, maybe 3 pours instead of 2. I still don't like super extracted coffee, so I'll still make it kind of light. But I'll do maybe like a more funky processed coffee, like a natural or like a honey, or like some fancy processed experimental stuff. Wonder if it helps that CP6 can grind finer with more consistency so you can get a more even extraction. Yeah, that definitely helps a lot. This is why sometimes like when you're trying to imitate someone's recipe, it really does not help if you don't have the same exact grinder. And even then, sometimes there's other variables that get in the way. But yeah, the CP6 compared to, for example, the Comandante is known for having a pretty even particle distribution. So that makes it so that you can get away with grinding finer sometimes. But even then, like the CP6 is known for being preferred on like coarser settings. The thing with the CP6 though, and these kinds of grinders, is that this grinder, the CP6 clarity focus grinders bring out a lot of like the details. It's kind of like using a magnifying glass to look at all these like intricacies of the beans. However, not every bean benefits from this. Some beans are too strong, too funky, that instead you would prefer a grinder that's a little bit more balanced. That's a little bit like blending these flavors together instead of like highlighting them separately, you know? So that's why it's good to have at least for my setup, I like having both. For example, the mango coffee that I showed maybe 2 streams ago, two coffee Zatsus ago, that one I've been having good results with the Comandante, because last time when I tried it with the CP6, yeah, the flavors were really strong, but now it's a little bit more concentrated, and some of like the unpleasant notes kind of get reduced as well, you know? How many do you drink a day? I usually drink 1 to 2 cups a day. I do not drink a lot of coffee a day. I enjoy every single sip of the coffee I brew though. いや、そうですね。まあ、いや、やっぱり多分、まあ、GP6 のおかげで、コーヒーのコーナーが結構なんか安定に引いてるから、多分コマンダンテより、味が違うよね。CP6 は多分、なんか、コーヒー豆の香りとか味わいとか、結構なんか、ズームしてるみたいな感じやるよね。微妙な味わいは、まっすぐ出るけど、時々、あれは良くないね。味わいは結構強かったら、多分、苦味とか、好きじゃない味とかも出るから、簡単に出るから、あの時なんかもっとなんか味を増せるグラインダーの方が合ってるよね。その時は僕がコマンダンテ使ってます。特になんかナチュラルやハニープロセスコーヒーを入れる時にね。Do you have any advice for beginners getting into pour over coffee? Start with good coffee already. Like, there's no need to go from like lower budget coffee to high quality coffee. I would say just start with good coffee, and that means you eliminate a variable that you don't have to worry about. Like try to find like a specialty store or stores online that ship to you. That's probably that's probably a good way to start. Sometimes people think like, oh no, but I'm not experienced enough to use a high quality bean and I don't want to waste it. And I understand that. I mean, anything food, right, that we spend money on, we really don't want to waste it at all, right? But I would say try and find good quality coffee to start out with. Even if you're on beginner equipment, the coffee bean and the quality of the bean is going to be the most important thing. やっぱりなんか初心者になんかアドバイスがあるなら最初から高級コーヒー豆を買うおすすめですよね。だってまあそうやってなんていうの、これはいつも忘れてるなんかバリアブル、なんかこだわりことがもう安心できるよね。安心できるよ。だって時々なんか多分味は自分の好みじゃなかったらじゃあ何のせいだったかな、割合かな、低めかな、豆かな。けど豆はもう高級なら多分そんなになんかレシピの別を集中できるよね。I want to upgrade my King Grinder K6 to another grinder, but I still don't know which one. The King Grinder K6 is really good though. For the price, it's really good and it won't stop you from having a really good coffee. I think they released the K7, right? The K7 is very close to the CP6, so I can recommend that for beginners interested in a grinder that's not super expensive. But if you have the K6, I don't know, I would say maybe, and you want to get like the ultimate grinder and not have to worry about upgrading, then maybe the EC Presso K Ultra is like a good all-rounder. That's probably my recommendation for anyone that's hey, I wanna get a really good grinder. I don't mind spending like over $100. I would probably recommend the EC Presso K Ultra because not everyone's gonna have to it's not gonna want to have a separate grinder for kind of beans, for certain beans, you know. So that's probably like my one recommendation. そうですね、おすすめできるグラインダーなら多分 EC Presso の K Ultra かな。まあ結構なんか100ドル以上の値段が大丈夫なら K Ultra がおすすめできるよね。結構なんかオールラウンダーだから。僕が持ってないけどもうコマンダンテ持てるから。だってみんなが多分なんか豆によって別のグラインダーを買いたくないよね。高いもん。深入り豆でも使えるかな。 K Ultra ならもちろんです。コマンダンテももちろん。そしてエスプレッソもできる。The K Ultra is also good for espresso because it can grind finely without taking forever. Grinding for espresso with a comandante takes so long. It takes so long. Your arm will get tired. エスプレッソもできるけど、まあ、コマンダンテなら結構時間がかかるね。腕が疲れちゃうかも。でも K Ultra が大丈夫だ。Some beans require a certain type of grinder. Not necessarily. You can do what you can with what you have. But it's just there's the grinders have a different effect on the taste of the bean. So There's some if you like a certain type of bean, there's probably a grinder that's more suitable for your taste, you know. Or there's all-rounders that can just brew everything pretty good, but they won't get 100% of every bean. Does the speed of the grind matter? I mean, it's just a convenience thing, you know. How long do you want to be turning the grinder as you grind by hand? Could be a good workout, maybe. Maybe. But yeah, usually I would recommend starting out with an all-rounder, and then if you're like me and you realize, I really like this specific kind of beans, then maybe you can get something like the CP6. But otherwise then I think the K Ultra is way more than good enough for most coffees. And then again, even if you have something like more affordable, if you learn to use it, you can get some really good cups. まあけどもちろんですよね。これは多分なんかテッペのグラインダーだけど、のハンドグラインダーだけど、もっとなんか安いグラインダーを持ってたら、それでも美味しく入れるよね。ただ自分のギアを勉強しないといけないね。I say this a lot for a lot of equipment, but yeah, it's important too. In order to like avoid the rabbit hole of capitalism, it's good to like try and master or understand very well the gear that you're already on, right? You'll see maybe in the context of mixing, right? Or music producing, audio engineering. Maybe a beginner will be like, okay, I bought the latest set of speakers. I bought like the newer equipment, and then the next year something new comes out. It's like, oh no, I have to replace it because I have to keep up. I have to keep up with in order to make like quality mixes or quality productions. And then you'll see like the most popular, the most famous audio engineers, and they're still working with their speakers from the 80s because it's what they know. And they don't need anything else. So it happens, right? Or maybe in the context of gaming, maybe you guys are more familiar with that. You know, like how some people go over like gaming headphones, like, oh no, but this will help me like hear the footsteps a little bit more, and I'll have an advantage when gaming. And then you see the best of the best players, and they're using whatever earphones they have lying around. So, or they're just using whatever they're sponsored with, so it's really not the biggest deal, but I mean, as a gear lover myself, I understand why it's also so attractive to want to try new things. I mean, I have a new set of headphones that I didn't need coming in next week. So that's gonna be interesting. Are you keeping up with the new tech? I am, depending on which area. I keep up with audio gear, I keep up with coffee gear, and gaming gear like mice and monitors and keyboards, I don't keep up as much anymore. But usually like if like maybe a senpai or anyone from By the Beat or a friend asks me, hey Freo, can you recommend me? Then I'll maybe like catch up, do some brushing up. But usually my focus is audio and coffee for now. If you advertise soundproof headphones, if you want soundproof headphones, I recommend the Etymotics. It's what I'm using right now to stream. But they block out the sound so much and they go so deep into your ear that you really won't hear anything around you. So it's kind of scary. Any beans that went stale, do you dispose of it or do you still finish it? If I have stale beans, sometimes I keep them around so that I can use them for like cold brew or something, but I haven't been making cold brew at all lately. But anyways, let me change the conversation before this becomes like just a Q&A stream. ね、Q&A 配信になるために、なる前に、少しだけなんか話が変わりますね。So, did you guys listen to the new cover we post? The new set of covers that we posted in the group channel? The Reawaker covers? みんな新しいのなんかグループチャンネルで新しいの歌ってみたを聞いてましたか？なんかデュエットの歌ってみた。We covered Reawaker by Hiroyuki Sawano and Lisa featuring Felix of Stray Kids. It's a pretty cool song,そうですね、今回はひろゆきさわの様とリーサ様の Reawaker 歌ってみましたね。そしてなんか featuring Stray Kids のフェリックス。It's also the opening song for Solo Leveling Season 2. So that makes it probably like the third is this the third Ani song that I get to cover as a liver here? So I did a Monochrome for my birthday. That's a Bleach song. I did One Last Kiss with the rest of By the Beat, and that's Evangelion. And I think this would be Solo Leveling. So that's the third anime. 多分これは2番目のアニソンカバーかな？活動で最初はブリーチのモノクロム続いてOne Last Kiss はエヴァンゲリオンですね。そして今回は Solo Leveling. It feels like it was just yesterday that I was arguing with Vanta Senpai about solo leveling, huh? Do you like solo leveling? I do like it. I just don't think it's a complex story though. So I have my thoughts on the series. But I do like it. My favorite character is the ant, Beru. But yeah, you prefer more complex ones. Usually my top favorite series, like anime series, are more complex stories. But the way I see it, like for solo leveling, is that sometimes you have foods that it's like a very fancy meal with like a steak, and sometimes you just want a nice comfy slice of pizza, a nice burger, but not like a Kobe beef burger that's like been seasoned in like the most quality spices, Maybe you just want like a fast food chain burger to like enjoy while you watch something. I think that's how I see solo leveling. It's a power fantasy show. It does not have a lot of like complex depth when it comes to the characters, but that's all it needs to be. So I like it for what it is. I read all the webtoon back when it was a thing. Kobe beef burger? 美味しいですよ。美味しいですね。なんかまあ時々なんかアニメシリーズとかね、なんか複雑やなんか結構コンプレックスなストーリーもまあ一番好きだけど、時々なんかシンプルなストーリーも好きですね。なんかバトル少年とか、もちろんなんかコンプレックスなバトル少年があるけど、時々なんか戦闘がかっこいいならそれは十分でしょ。なんかファストフードみたいな感じね。なんか見やすいものとか。But I mean, the animation and the fight scenes were pretty cool. But you know, it was funny in the... I think it was a Elden Ring collab. I don't remember if it was just those two or someone else, but or with someone else, but I think we went like a good 10 to 15 minutes just arguing about whether it deserved to be #1 in the anime awards or something. Speaking of Banta Senpai though, unfortunately we cannot play this week. To be honest, like I really needed some rest yesterday. So we put off playing to this week to next week. So next week we're going to be playing Overwatch on Saturday, so you can look forward to that. まあ今日残念ながら今週はエンダ先輩とゲームできなかったね。まあ正直本当に休むの必要だったから、じゃあ来週にOverwatch やりますね。エンダ先輩と。But anyways, anime talk aside, the cover, right? The cover. So this time I got to do Felix's parts of the song. Calix got to do Lisa's parts, and he did really good at them. He did so well at them, and I had to do Felix's parts. And man, I am not Felix. When I was recording this, I just realized, yeah, I am not Felix after all. He's so good at having like such a full low voice, but I couldn't do it. At least not for the whole rap, you know. I tried at first to record it in the original octave that he did, but I wasn't liking how it was coming out, so I did high octave for the first part of the verse, and then before the chorus, I'm like, okay, that one we can do low, so let's do it low there. That's why I did it differently compared to the original, or compared to like how Zeal approached it. But yeah, no, with Felix, I really respect Felix. I love his voice. I love his low voice. Unfortunately, I do not have that kind of a voice, but I mean, you work with what you have, right? So yeah, I approach it in like my own way also. The way he raps, I also try to approach it a little bit in a way that's more closer to how I would do it. For example, let me pull out the lyrics here. So Reawaker lyrics, so I don't want to butcher things if I'm gonna be imitating something. So yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it though. Thank you. Where are you? It's not showing. Okay, there you are. So for example, there's the part where it's like, the two events paid you out, such you will leave a body count. 青2歳の渇望と主訴やミニジムの日の主訴. Felix takes a pause and goes like, 青2歳の渇望と主訴. But I decided to do it a little bit more smoothly, like, 青2歳の... Like, I connected basically everything. That's how I approached it in the end, and I don't know, it gives a kind of different vibe compared to how Felix approached it. But it was cool. It was really fun getting to work on a song by my bias from one of my favorite boy groups. It was a big honor. まあ本当に光栄だったね。だって Stray Kids が本当に好きだから、そしてフィリックスが僕の一番好きなメンバーだし、フィリックスのパートを担当させて、まあ楽しかったね。もちろん僕がフェリックスみたいに低音ボイスが持ってないよね。本当に羨ましいだけど、まあしょうがないね。だからラップのなんか最初の半分で奥を下げてじゃなくて奥を上がってなんかハイトーンでラップしてたね。コールズのサビの前になんか低音で歌ったけどね。 But yeah, no, I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you, thank you. And also, it's really cool, like, comparing, right? I think, I mentioned before that I really like utatte mitas, I really like utaites. And something that I really liked from utaite culture and utatte mita culture is just listening to all these different covers of the same song and then seeing how different singers approach it, how they choose to express it. And comparing, that's super fun to me. And that's what I like about singing myself also. It's like, how do I express this song in my own way? Like, how do I make this song not Freo's, because this song will never be Freo's. This song is Lisa's and Hiroyuki Sawano's. But how can I make this cover like my version, my interpretation of it, you know? And I'm sure everyone else also did theirs. So I think that's what's really cool about experiencing all these multiple covers that we're releasing on the group channel, right? We all have our own way of approaching them, of approaching the songs, and in the end, it's subjective, right? Some people are gonna like one interpretation more than the other. So I think personally, if I can ask you guys for a favor, I would prefer if comments, at least on my covers, were like, "Oh, Freo did this one the best." Like, this is the best one. Stuff like that could be like avoided, because in the end, it's subjective, so, and everyone's working hard on their own covers, so it's fine to have a favorite, but to there's no need to put like the other one down, basically, right? Why compare cakes when you can have be happy about having 2 cakes? Enjoy all the cakes. Maybe you like one flavor more than the other, but maybe another person likes that other flavor, so. But just, yeah, enjoy the cakes. けどそうですね、まあ本当に、まあ今回もこの曲歌った時に、まあどうやって僕の、まあ自分自身で表現しようかなって悩んでたね。まあ僕みたいな感じでラップと歌えたけど、まあやっぱり歌ってみた素晴らしいことはこちらですね。みんなのスタイルと表現が違うから、いろんななんか同じ曲なのにいろんなカバー歌ってみたを聞いて、違うポイントをついて本当に楽しいと思う。そして音楽ならなんかなんていうの、みんなの好みが違うから、多分自分に一番合ってるのカバーが絶対あると思うね。だからユニットチャンネルの歌ってみたで、まあ正直多分少なくとも僕のカバーでこのカバーが一番良かったって、このなんかバイドビーのカバーの歌ってみたの中でこれは一番だったってのコメントをまあ正直見たくないよね。だってみんなが頑張ってるし、そして多分別のバージョンの好きな人が絶対にいるから、なんか好きなカバーがいては大丈夫だけど、まあ比べるのもなんて自分の好みにとしていいけど、なんかこれは最高でこれは一番って時々なんか別のカバーを下げるみたいな感じがあるし、まあ個人的に嫌だね。 But yeah, no. It was really cool to do this song. Were you guys expecting us to do a song like this, by the way? I was not expecting for us to do a song like this. みんなは、この曲をみんなが歌うの予想してたの？僕が予想してなかったわ。全然びっくりだったわ。僕もびっくりした。I was also surprised. I was surprised just as much as you guys. I do not know how much I can reveal regarding the process behind these covers, these short covers. But perhaps I can say that it's a collaborative work between staff and us. And it's not just us, basically, you know. まあこのショッツだってみたプロセスがどこまで教えないってわからんけど、まあこれはスタッフさんとレベルのスタッフさんとパイダビンのメンバーの交流ですね。Imagine one day covering Spanish song. What kind of Spanish song would you guys want me to hear though? ¿Qué canción en español les gustaría escuchar? Me da curiosidad porque yo no suelo cantar en español. No es algo que me interese en particular, así que like, do you guys have a particular song that you would want to hear? I am not interested in singing in Spanish personally. I am more into Japanese Korean music, but Japanese Korean or Chinese music, but I wonder because it seems like people have been curious about me singing in Spanish. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. La chona. La vaca. La vaca. Mu. La vaca. Mu. La vaca. What Chinese singers have you listened to? I was a really big fan of Into One from Chuang. Liu Yu is one of the artists that I really respect, and Zhou Jinan also. Zhou Jinan, I really like his rapping. Santos Bravos? You wanna hear me sing Santos Bravos? Yo solito me río. Para que me ría solito. Yeah, no, I don't know if singing in Spanish is gonna be something that you guys will get to hear in the future, but you never know, right? まあ将来はスペイン語で歌えるのがまあ約束できないけど、まあわからないよね。El opening de Pokémon. La camisa negra. Tengo la camisa negra. Porque negra tengo el alma. Uy, esa es viejita. That's an old one. La camisa negra. I was gonna say... Pero nada de Bad Bunny porque dice cosas feas. O dice cosas, palabras altisonantes. I was gonna say, but no Bad Bunny because the word, the lyrics in Bad Bunny's music are kind of explicit. But I don't think I have the right to say that anymore. I think it was pretty funny on the Neva stream that I did yesterday. I was like, no, I'm not gonna say the moon is beautiful in Japanese because it has a different meaning. And then here I am singing about intertwining tongues with Alvin Senpai. So, I don't know. Make up your mind, Frio. The lyrics for Lavi Bloom are pretty strong. Are pretty strong. I think when it comes to music is the one place where I am open to expressing, to showing sides that I probably wouldn't ever show in my streams, but yeah, no, it's different when it's in my mother tongue though. You never know. I mean, Maria Senpai also got me to say the F word for the duet we did, and yeah, Queen of Hearts was also pretty explicit. So そうね、本当に面白かったね。だってネバの配信はThe moon is beautiful 日本語で意味が違うから言わないって言ってたけど、まあそれなのに同じの日でR1 先輩の歌ってみたで結構なんかやばい歌詞歌ってたからまああれを言うの権利もないかも。決めてくれ、フリオ。歌は歌だからね。まあそうですね。まあ歌の素敵なものはいろんな表情できるからね。多分普通になんか日常で感じれないと見せない表情。なんか自分の表現で歌えるから、まあそうらしいよね。But yeah, no, I think something that's really cool about music and singing is it lets you feel things that you probably would not feel in a daily basis and a normal basis. Or, for example, in my place, it lets me put myself in the shoes of someone that I perhaps in a situation where I probably wouldn't be putting myself in. So it lets me express and let approach a different situation, a different circumstance and worldview than my usual one. And it's really fun. I really like singing darker or depressing songs, personally. Porque será que en español da más cosita cantar cosas así. Bueno, es que siento como que cuando es en otros idiomas estás un poco más distanciado, ¿no? Hay una distancia más grande. Aunque pues sepas el significado, no lo sientes de la misma manera. Es como decir groserías en inglés. La gente dice groserías en inglés como si nada, pero ya cuando es en tu propio idioma es como... ¡Oh! Pero bueno, yo no digo groserías. Ni en inglés. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty common, right, too? Because I mentioned, right, I won't do it in Spanish, but when it comes to your own language, it's a little bit different, right? When you sing in English, when you sing in Japanese, or when you speak in English and Japanese or any other language that you're learning, there's a distance between you and that language, even if you know the meaning. There's kind of a distance there. It's kind of like cursing. People curse in English all the time. It's like so normalized. But then if they curse in their mother tongue, it's kind of like, oh, what? You know? I don't curse in my mother tongue either, but yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same at all. I thought you would be the type to sing lullabies. Lullabies and ballads are my weakest point. I personally like up-tempo music a little bit more. They're pretty though. I was recently listening to this Chinese singer. I think he's from Yuehua. Is his name Elvis Wang? his ballads are so nice. He has a very like deep bass voice. It's super, he's super good. まあけどそうですね、個人的になんかアラビとかバレエドとか、まあ本当に僕の弱点ですね。僕ならアップテンポの音楽好きだけど、バラードが難しい。本当に難しい。でもいいけどね。最近なんか中国の歌手、ワンシっていうかな、英語でエルヴィス・ウェンっていうけど、本当に彼の低音ボイスが本当に素晴らしかった。Who in by the beat do you think would be more suitable for ballads and stuff? What's her name? Samantha Lusenberg. That's the one. I think that's like the undisputable ballad member of By the Beat. But yeah, no, transitioning from like the Reawaker, I've been in so many collabs. Like, I'm very grateful, you know. I said when the new year happened, I really said that I wanted to do more music this year, and I already did way more music in these first 4 months than I did last year. So that's been going good. That's been going well. I got to sing with Clara Senpai, I got to sing with Maria Senpai, and now I got to sing with Alvin Senpai. So, that's pretty nice. そうですね、新年の時にやっぱり、もっと音楽活動したいって言ってたから、今もう結構歌う機会が叶えたね。もうこの5ヶ月間で去年よりももっと歌ったね。そしてクララ先輩、マリア先輩とアールバン先輩も初めてコラボをできましたし、本当に嬉しいですね。So yeah, no, if you guys haven't listened to the cover of Lobby Bloom with Alvin Senpai, it's on his channel. He did really. I think the song fits him very well, and I'm like, Senpai, if we're gonna sing, we have to wear the necktie outfits. We need to match, and it also and it happened. So I'm glad he listened, or I'm glad he agreed with my suggestion. Must have been a lot of work to record all of that. Recording, yeah, we've been doing a lot of recording. I think all of By the Beat has, but it's nice. It's nice. I think when I woke up in the morning today, it was a really nice reminder. You guys listened to my Hold It Down rap, right? You were serious about it being a cool no Aegyo year? Yeah, of course. Of course, the Aegyo whimsy agenda will be defeated this year. But yeah, the Hold It Down rap. I don't think I ever talked about this, but when I wrote the Hold It Down rap, it was basically a motivational speech for myself. About, it's like, hey, you auditioned. You auditioned so many times, you tried so many times, but hey, you're here. And it's only the beginning, so I don't know, I think like I listened to it for the first time in a while, today, and I'm like, right, that was what I was feeling at the time when I wrote it. I got reminded of it because I mean, when I auditioned here, and my what I wanted to do the most as a member of NIJISANJI Ian was to do music, so it's like, wow, now I get to focus on that a little bit more, so it's nice. I am still lacking a lot when it comes to my vocals, and but we only go up from here, right? I just gotta do my best and learn from my fellow members of By the Beat, and learn from my senpais who are really good at singing. We have a lot of vocal talent in NIJISANJI Ian. So I'm nothing but motivated.そうですね、多分まあこれをちゃんと話したことないけど、まあでもね、今朝ね、久しぶりに僕の Hold It Down のラップ久しぶりに聞いてたね。あのラップの歌詞を書いてた時に、多分僕のモチベーション手紙、モチベーションスピーチだってまあ毎回オーディションしてダメだったけど、やっとここに立ってるから、これからだねって、そんな感じですね。その気持ちであのラップを書いてたけど、やっぱりなんか思い出したね。NIJISANJIイエンライバーとしてやっぱり音楽活動やりたいし、本当に感謝してますね。今年もいろいろ歌ってるし、これからも頑張りたいと思いますね。同期と先輩たちもまあだって正直僕のボーカルがまだまだって分かってるよね。本当にまだまだだ。歌うのが好きだけどまだだから、すごいな、同期と先輩たちを見習って頑張ります。本当にモチベーションしかない。この機会が本当に、まあ声だって大事な機会だから、一生懸命頑張るしかない。I mean, in the end, this is an opportunity that's a big privilege, and I have to make the most of it. Not just, and I don't speak just about the label, but just being able to be here. So, just gotta never forget that, you know? I'm gonna do my best and perhaps bring back to the senpais, to my genmates and staff who believed in me, so gotta prove them right, you know. The acidity of the coffee, once it cools down, it's significantly prominent, but while it's high, it does not feel like battery acid. It's not bad at all. I do think perhaps the last cup was a little bit more pleasant once it cooled down, but I think with this process, I prefer it hot to lukewarm. Sorry, just changing the topic here. ちょっと話は全然違かったけど、今気づいたね。コーヒー冷めても、まあやっぱり酸味が高くなったけど、まだ美味しいよ。そのなんか陽気じゃないけど、美味しいわ。多分前 回の方が、なんか、冷たくて、なんか冷たい状態で、酸味がやばくなかったけど、多分、こちらの方が好きだね。まあ、あったかい状態で。Muy bueno, alguien tiene hambre. Yeah, no, I have to remember there's a coffee Zatsu out there, alright? まあ、やっぱりコーヒーZatsuだからね。目的通り、そうそうそう、目的通り当たったわ。The coffee went completely as expected, as predicted, so we are. This is a success. これは成功ですね。スプチャットありがとうございます。But also, regarding the covers, right? I believe the group account on X, formerly Twitter, already teased that tonight at 6 p.m. JST, or that's probably going to be 2 a.m. PDT, we're going to be releasing something else on the channel, and it's going to feature all of us. It's going to feature all of us, so I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is, but stay tuned. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, so be prepared. そうですね、もちろんネタバレあげないけど、そうね、グループの X アカウントで今日の18時に新しい投稿もありますし、そしてバイトビットのメンバー全員参加してるから楽しみにしてね。I wonder if I'll be awake by the time it comes out, because lately my schedule has been pretty normal, pretty chicken, pretty pollo. 寝るときに起きてるかな？だって最近結構なんか鶏の寝るリズム寝るリズム中だから。Like I actually woke up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and made the quote post to promote the cover. That's why it was a little bit later than the usual. Freodore is back for now. Who knows how long that will last? That never lasts. Yeah, as a NIJISANJI liver, you cannot stay a pollo too long. Maybe, unless you're really strong, but I don't think so. まあとりあえずポヨドルだけど、まあNIJISANJIライバーならチキンになんか永遠に長くチキン生活できないよね。少なくとも家で。Relish in it while you have it. Yeah, it's nice, you know. I'm a nocturnal person by nature, so this is really rare. 正直僕が夜の人だから、これは本当に珍しい。 I wonder what I should teach you guys today for Spanish. 今日はスペイン語こそはどうするか。What should we do today? We talked about singing, we talked about solo leveling, we talked about the coffee was a soft floral. What can we do? Where's the toilet? I mean, that's a very useful phrase. Kiwi. Kiwi in Spanish is kiwi. Kiwi はスペイン語でキウイだよ。It's the exact same. 同じだ。I'll keep thinking about it. じゃあ考えておくわ。影? I already taught kage, didn't I? I've taught you guys shadow, right, in Spanish? Yeah, the pronunciation for kiwi is exactly the same. Kiwi. Me gusta el kiwi. Thank you for super chat. Thank you very much. 谢谢你。Waterfall. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Waterfall. That's nice. Yeah, that's a good one. After the beans. Yeah, perfect. 確かにね、カスケードがいい感じだ。Is there a difference between cascade and waterfall? Difference between cascade and waterfall. In a waterfall, the water falls vertically and without obstruction. Meanwhile, in a cascade, fast flow with a smooth boundary and turbulent flow over boulders or bedrock. Flow is in contact. I see, so a waterfall only flows downward, but a cascade can flow both sides. Downward and onward. Interesting. In Spanish, there's only one word. Cascade and waterfall, we use only one word, so... So, 日本語ならカスケードってよく言うの？カスケードと幕府の中でどっちの方が言うの？滝？滝は waterfall. I see, okay. So we're gonna do that. ありがとう。じゃあ滝使いますね。In Spanish, waterfall is a cascada. You can probably remember it. Think of my debut cover, think of Shinsho Casquedo, and you'll remember the Spanish word, cascada. Spanish でカスカーダって言うよね。多分僕のデビュー歌ってみたで覚えて、もうスペイン語の滝をも覚えるよね。カスカーダ。It's probably really easy to remember then. そうそうそう。上性名詞だ。Yeah, it's a feminine feminine noun. So it's la cascada. For English speakers, you can also remember every time we touch by cascada. I mean, you could say just the singer, right? It doesn't have to be every time we touch. It can be bad boy. It could be remember. It could be listen to your heart. But yeah, any of those works. But yeah, yeah, that's true. 確かにね、英語の歌手が言いますね、カスカダって。There you go. Now you'll remember. That's true. That's true. Every time we touch, everyone knows every time we touch, right? Every time we touch ならみんなが知ってるかも。All of these songs I know because I watched AMVs of Sonic and Naruto for all of these songs. They were everywhere. They were everywhere back in the day. (男性女性名詞が出てきたけど、すごい難しいんですね。まあ日本語でも名詞の性別はないよね。難しいよね。わかるよ。個人的にスペイン語で感覚でそうしてるから。Yu-Gi-Oh! AMVs, yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! though, the other day I was watching all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX opening songs. The third opening song for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is so nostalgic. I was listening to it. I was just looping the song over and over like 2 weeks ago. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX ね、本当に懐かしいわ。多分2週間前にYu-Gi-Oh! GX の3番目のオープニングテーマソングをよくなんか歌ってね、ドロップっていうかな。What's the name of the song? Teardrop by Bowl. ティアドロップね。あの曲はよく聞いてたわ。本当に懐かしかったわ。Does that count as a guilty pleasure? What's there to be guilty about Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty cool. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. 最近だ。まあ最近来てたけど、最近の曲じゃないよね。いつやったかな？ When did the song come out? Just when did it come out? (2006) Yeah, 20 years ago, so 20年前から。まあ最近じゃないよね。Yeah, 20 years, almost 20 years. Whoa. Then again, I mean, I didn't get to listen to it when it came out because I mean, in Latin America we got the Spanish version, which was based on the English version, so we got like the repetitive English song. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Generation X, come on, get your game on. That song, you know, that's the one I grew up with. But I think a few years later, once I started getting internet access, I found out the Japanese songs, and I'm like, wait, this is completely different. And I was really hooked. いや、そうですね、まあ、20年前、まあ僕がスペイン語版見てたから、オープニングテーマソングが全然違かったね。英語版を元にして、英語版のバージョン使ってたけど、後でなんかパソコン持ってて、ネットで調べて、日本のバージョンは全然違う。雰囲気は全然違うなって。気づいて本当にハマりました。Did you play Yu-Gi-Oh too? Yeah, yeah. I used to play the card game, and then I played a lot of Duel Links for a while. I did not play Master Duel. I have not played Master Duel, but I played Duel Links for a while. I used to main a Masked Heroes. If you guys watch Yu-Gi-Oh though, the anime, which anime do you like the most? なんか Yu-Gi-Oh アニメ見た人に、どっちの Yu-Gi-Oh 一番好きだった？ There's like Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Monsters, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, Yu-Gi-Oh Yu-Gi-Oh Sexal, Yu-Gi-Oh what was the other one? There was one where it's like Arc 5. Yeah, Arc 5. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. There was also Season 0, which was completely different. It wasn't even about the card game. It was just about like shadow games. Duel Monsters 前にシーズン0もあったね。なんかカードゲームじゃなくて、別のストーリーだったけど。The one where Yami sets people on fire? Yeah, that's esa mera, that one. ジョダイかな。まあ、ジョダイがアイコニックですね。個人的に GX が一番好きだったけど、まあ、ジョダイも。ジョダイも本当に、まあ、いい感じだったね。クラシックだよ。Personally, my favorite is probably GX. あ、正代。ジョダイじゃなくて、ジョノイチ君を考えてたから、ジョダイって言ってたけど。初代ね、初代すみませんでした。ジョノイチくん。あなたのせいだったわ。But yeah, my favorite is probably Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but I think the second one is probably the original, because that's the one that is most iconic. It's super iconic. Back then, back in those days, anime would just spoil you in the previews. Like Dragon Ball would do this also. Like after you finish the episode, you get the preview for the next episode, and then it would be like, what's gonna happen to Joey? And then on the next broadcast, Joey's death. And it's kind of like, what? I don't know if this was just like a thing in the English and Spanish versions, but it's kind of like, wait, but now you told us though. Same for like Dragon Ball. Like what's gonna happen next episode? And then on the next episode, Krillin's death. And I'm like, again? Okay. 日本語、なんか昔のアニメは、本当によく普通にネタバレされてたね。なんかプレビューで。なんかエピソードの終わりで、なんか次のエピソードをプレビューされて、じゃあ次回はジョン・ヌイチのですって。クリリンが死んだって。もうネタバレしたわ。ネタバレされちゃったわ。La muerte de Krillin. Ya me contó. Pero bueno. Krillin. そう。まあ、英語とスペイン語でクリリンだけどね。To make the viewers curious about the cause. Yeah. I mean, that's how it went, right? It's like, okay, now you know for sure he's dying, but it's like, how did he get to die then? It's like, but now you're watching the whole episode expecting, it's like, when is it gonna come? Oh, there it is. You're like, oh, cool, wow, and then he just explodes. Something like that, you know? But now you're like watching the whole episode expecting that. So I don't know if maybe it was deliberate or not, but it was the strategy. そうね、なんか、じゃあ次のエピソードを見て、あの瞬間をずっと待ってるよね。安心で見えないから。じゃあ、いつにクリリンが死ぬのか。いつ、そこですね。そんな感じ。You have a favorite season of GX? Season 3. That was the darkest one. And that's the one that had the opening that I really liked. Teardrop. Speaking of spoiling though, I think it's about time I start spoiling you guys a little bit of what's gonna happen next week, because I think I'll start wrapping up the stream, so... First of all, thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for listening to me talk about like music and anime and Krillin dying. So thank you very much. まあネタバレの話か、この話たびに多分もう来週のスケジュールのネタバレ話しようかな。終わる前に。So, yeah, no, thank you for appreciating my segues. 配信に来てくださっていろんな話、なんかクリリの話を聞いてくださってありがとうございます。So, next week, what we're probably gonna be doing in next episode, Saturday. I mean, probably not the next episode, but in one episode next week, Saturday, we're gonna be playing Overwatch with Banta Senpai. We're gonna be ranking, and I have not played Overwatch in probably like 3 years. So 3 or 2 years I probably haven't played Overwatch, so it's gonna be interesting. But we're getting straight into ranking because that's the only fun way to enjoy these kind of games, right? So it's gonna be fun. そうですね、日本の日曜日にベンタ先輩とオーバーワッチやりますね。ベンタ先輩とランクします。僕は多分2年ぶりにやってないから、まあどうなるってわからんけど、まあ頑張るね。頑張るわ。マッスルメモリで。I'm gonna manifest my muscle memory. The only fun way. I have this thing where like this was League of Legends back when I played League of Legends a lot also. Once you start playing ranked in these games, I feel like it's all meaningless after. There's nothing to lose and nothing to gain from normal games. So where's the excitement? It's kind of sweaty, except Apex. Apex, I feel like It was too frustrating for me at least. But Overwatch and League, I really mostly played ranked. Unless the only time I would play quick plays would be in a full party with friends or something. But otherwise, I would be playing ranked. I would never queue in quick play or like normal queue by myself if it was just me. 個人的にこのゲームでランク始まるからランクしかやらないよね。多分まあなんか友達とパーティーがフルならノーマルはできるけど、一人ならまあランクの方が楽しいと思うね。そうやってなんかステークがあるから。Are you still DPS Moira? I haven't played in forever, so I won't know. Let's see if she looks at me with if she looks at me like use me for you. You know you want to, and I fall into the temptation, then maybe. But I mean, that's the most effective way to play Moira anyways. If you want to play just a heal bot, then there's other characters that do that, so you want to be damaging with Moira. That's like her thing, her ability to like have the dash, the fade, and go back, heal, damage, go back, heal, damage, go back, heal, damage. Like that's the way you play Moira, because otherwise, there's other characters that you can heal with that are way more efficient. I really want to try the new Japanese healer, or not healer, support, because they're called supports. They're not called healers for a reason, because you're not supposed to just heal. How was his name? Mizuki. Yeah. I want to try Mizuki a lot. He seems really up my alley when it comes to the playstyle set. Very interested. Mizuki やってみたいよね。プレイスタイルが僕に合いそうから。But we'll see. We'll see. If we're playing ranked, it's a little bit risky to try new characters though, so it's a little bit I might just switch to some of my safer picks. まあけどランクなら新しいキャラクターを試すのはちょっとだけ危ないから、もっと慣れるキャラクター使うかな。But yeah, we're gonna be playing Overwatch on Saturday. I don't know. I don't have specific days for the rest of the week. I guess I can for we're gonna be playing Pragmata finally next week. We're gonna be starting Pragmata. And then maybe I'll sneak a horror game as well. But on May 6th, Thursday, I'm gonna... Oh no, on Wednesday, May 6th, I'm gonna be doing my first and last drawing stream. It's gonna be a short drawing stream. I'm just gonna be drawing. And I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. But yeah, that's those are the plans for next week. そうですね、来週はまあ日曜日ベンタ先輩と Overwatch やるから。でも多分来週もプラグマタ始まってホーラゲやるし、そして木曜日に初めてと最後の絵描き配信やります。Why I said the last one? Because I don't like drawing. I don't enjoy it. I'm not good at it. I do not enjoy it. It's a frustrating event, but there's a reason for it. No, there's no part 2. There's no convincing. I said it's gonna be the last one, so it's gonna be the last one. Are you gonna draw with a mouse or tablet? I'll draw with a tablet. I'll draw with a tablet. For the first time on stream. Saisho de saigo, so... It's probably not gonna be really long also because... Like I said, I'm probably gonna get like tired of it pretty fast. そして多分、早く疲れるから、飽きるから、多分長い配信ではないかもしれないね。But I figured at least once would be good. As a designer, I said that my drawing was bad and I think I need to show that as a proof. まあデザイナーとしてデビューした時に僕の絵描きが良くないって言ってたから今回はタブレットで証明するよね。Because yeah, all this whole time like I've been drawing. If I've shown a drawing on stream, it has been with a mouse. And on debut, I said that my drawings were really bad. So now I'll use this as an opportunity to show as a proof that with a tablet, I am just as bad or if not worse. So please look forward to that. じゃあ楽しみにしてね。That's gonna be at the usual 8 p.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. JST time. そしてなんかいつも通りの日本時間の12時にやりますね。A designer that's bad at drawing. I'm not a designer because of my drawing skills. I'm a designer because of my aesthetic vision. But yeah, that's gonna be the plans for next week. So let's have a nice one, okay? じゃあそれは来週の予定だから楽しみましょうね。楽しみましょう。スプチャットありがとうございます。No need to draw, you can just project from your mind's eye. Once they invent a device that does that, it's over. It's over, but I don't think I want that to ever happen because maybe I don't enjoy drawing. Maybe it's not my thing, but it's a thing for a lot of people, and a lot of people spent a lot of years, a lot of time, a lot of attention into forging that craft, and it's something wonderful to see. So my respect for illustrators is it's extremely high. I wouldn't want anything that inconveniences them. But anyways, before we ending, I'm gonna read the super chats and then we can call it a day, okay? じゃあ終わる前にスーパーチャットを読ませていただきますね。I haven't seen the latest Protos 101 Japan episode, so I'm probably gonna watch that today also. It's exciting. 今週の日プのエピソードはまだ見てないから多分今日は後で見ますかな。舞台を楽しみ。Aurora Reverie, thanks so much for the super chat. Muchas gracias. Todavía no me recuperaba del cover de Lovey Bloom y de la nada cover de Reawaker. No, gracias por escuchar. Muchas gracias. Thank you for listening to the covers, by the way, everyone. オーリー、スーパーチャットありがとうございます、オーリーさん。シェシェに。カバーよかったのありがとうございます。Thank you very much. 銀さん、つぶちゃとありがとうございます。ありがとうございますね。僕のスタイルで歌うの頑張ってるから。感謝してます。ありがとうございます。CHZ, thanks so much for the super chat, Jenny. Thank you very much. I'm glad my streams are able to help you fall asleep. Thank you very much. Tacos the World, thanks so much for the super chat. super chat ありがとうございます。そうですね、本当に最近が楽しいよ。いろんなジャンルを挑戦して。ありがとうございます。Yeah, no, it's been really fun to challenge a lot of different genres with these last covers. I feel like it's really a win-win kind of training, you know? なんか win-win の勝ちしかない訓練ですね。こんにちは、フレデリック。踊ってない夜を知らない。踊ってない夜の気に入らない。フレデリックじゃないよ、フリオドルです。I'm not Frederick, I'm Frio. しおりさん、そばちゃとありがとうございます。ありがとうございますね。低音が本当に頑張ったわ。フェリックスの低音がすごいから、同じように歌うのが本当に難しかった。本当に難しかった。でも頑張ったね。Yeah, trying to like sing in a... Because one thing is reaching as low as Felix, but also being able to sound as full as he does in those lower tones is not as easy. It's not easy at all, so I tried to do my best on the second part of the rap for Rio Waker. Thank you. Kyle Peely, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. I'm glad you've been liking the songs, and yeah, no, very simple recipe of today that works really well if you like tea-like brews. Very much recommended. ありがとうございます。ヤモリさん、スーパースティッカーありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Mint Rain, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Yeah, please look forward to the drawing stream. It's gonna be one of the drawing streams of all time, for sure. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you're enjoying the covers also. Komo 気に入ったよ。よかったね。ありがとうございます。I'm glad you guys like my high tones also. I actually when it comes in between my low notes and my higher notes, I have more confidence when it comes to my lower notes. Maybe not to the point where it's like Felix's low notes, but I am more of a low range singer than a high range singer. So lately, these songs have been making me sing in a higher range than I usually would, and it's a bit challenging, but it's good training. So thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. My tone, I don't know. I personally feel like I need to work a little bit on it more, but thank you. いや、そうですね。まあ、個人的に、僕は普通に低音の方が自信があるし、高音でちょっと未熟だと思ってるけど、最近がいろんな高音部分が歌わないといけなかったから、まあ、いい挑戦になったね。ありがとうございます。気に入ってよかった。気に入ってよかったわ。気に入ってもらえてね。Personal Ghost, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked the duet with Alvin Senpai. Yeah, please look forward to the upload that we have for tomorrow morning as well. そうですね、まあ、このお昼かな夕方のなんか16時のトークを楽しみにしてね。ユニットチャンネルで。Suzu, thanks so much for the super chat, Shizuni. Yeah, please look forward to the streams and thank you so much for listening to the covers. Thank you. モスリさん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。スーパースイカね。ありがとうございます。夜やね。18時はもう夜かな？夜なの？日本語で。日本で。Is 6 p.m. night already in Japan? 18時は夜の ?16 時じゃなくて18時。夜だ。そうなんだ。なるほどね。だって、場所によって、18時ではまだ明るいし。I see. So it seems like in Japan it's already nighttime by the time it's 6 p.m. depending on the place. Oh, sorry, my alarm. It's still pretty bright out there at 6 p.m. so. Maru-san, thanks so much for the super sticker. Super sticker ありがとうございます。ペピさん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。ドレミは全然 never cry じゃない。泣くのは大丈夫だ。全然大丈夫だ。ありがとうございますね。ひめちゃん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。カバーを切ってくださってありがとうございます。ありがとう。フクさん、thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Yeah, please look forward to to all our future music releases and covers and stuff with Vitavid and Senpai. Thank you very much. ここのぎさん、スーパースティッカーありがとうございます。アニアさん、赤スーパーありがとうございます。Thank you so much for the 赤スーパー。Thank you. ありがとう。Dimsees, thanks so much for the super chat してね。Thank you very much. 夏目さん、スーパースティッカーありがとうございます。Wincel, thanks so much for the super chat テリマカシ。Thank you so much for listening to the covers on loop. Yeah, please. Please. That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Broccoli, thanks so much for the super sticker テリマカ。カプコンクラッ。Warfroach, thanks so much for the super chat. Salamat po. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for rooting on me. I'll continue being under everyone's care. So thank you very much. Lenny, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys liked my approach for the Felix rap. Like, to be honest, I still wish I could sound like Felix, you know? I really like low voices, so it's like, I wish. But it's fine, you know? I have grown to not dislike my voice, so I'm glad you guys like it. まあ正直はまだフェリックスの声と似てたらまあいいけど、本当に俺やましいから低音ボイスが好きだから。でもまあ本当にしょうがないね。そして今もう自分の声は嫌いではないから、まあ、頑張るしかないね。Alright though. So I'm gonna be calling it a day here, okay? じゃあここで終わらせていただきます。 I'll see you guys next week, or this week, later this week, so let's have a nice one, okay? じゃあ、いい週間を過ごせますようにね。Golden Week enjoy してね。Everyone that's celebrating the holidays for Golden Week, please enjoy yourselves. Rest well. And for those that are working in Golden Week, hang in there. You got this. そして、Golden Week 中、働いてる人、頑張ってね。頑張れ。Alright, see you guys. Do you guys like goth girls? Because it seems like Aya Senpai is doing a goth girl announcement. I don't know what that means, but I mean... Goth girls, right? So we'll be redirecting to Aya Senpai stream.